So we're going to go over how to create a block and how to insert a block and how to add attributes to it. So I'm going to just talk about how to make an object into a block. So I'm going to create a small rectangle. So if you look at this rectangle, it's got 4 points. So I could just copy this rectangle in different places that I want. Okay, I can just copy it in different places. But once you realize that the dimensions of this rectangle is incorrect, or you wanted to add some changes, you might have to go into each one of them to modify those changes. So to make things easier, you can make it into a block and insert them in different places as you wish. And if something is wrong, you can modify the original one and it's going to reflect and save it, and it's going to reflect on everything else. So I'm going to make this into a simple block. So any object can be converted into a block. I'm going to call it REC. Pick a base point. The base point needs to be picked based on where you're picking it from and where you're going to place it. Okay, so that is important. So you need to know, you can't, so if it is a toilet, so if you're creating a toilet block, you know that the back side of the toilet is going to attach itself to the wall. So you want to have the base point on the back side of the toilet and not in the elliptical portion or the bowl portion of the toilet. So base points are really critical in our decision making. And then I don't want to open in block editor. We'll talk about block editors later. Okay, so you've got a block created. So if I want to insert it, I enter, or I can click on this icon right here, which says insert block as well. So once you do that, you see different blocks that you've used. So I'm going to click on this block and I'm going to check this insertion point. So if you leave it unchecked, the XYZ, this block will be inserted at XYZ coordinate. Or if you check the block, you can insert it wherever you want. So if I check this, double click, I can insert it wherever I want. And if I uncheck it and double click it, you see my block inserted itself at 0, 0, 0. So unchecking it will insert it at X, Y, and Z at 0, 0, 0. If you check it, it's going to insert itself wherever you want to place it. So I have so many blocks inserted. Now I can get rid of my insert block. Let's say I want to make changes to these blocks. I can go into BE, which is block editor, hit enter. Okay, which is BE, which is where you go and block edit. Let's say I want to add some things to it. So I'm going to add a circle here. And I wish to change the colors. So what you're going to do is go to home, click home. Let's change the color of the object to green. Okay. And then you're going to close block editor, save changes to the block. And you see I changed in one block and it reflected on all of these blocks. So blocks are handy when you want to use something in multiple places, and if things need to change, you can do that. Okay, so blocks are really handy. There's other cool things that are attached to blocks. You can add attributes. We're going to talk about that in a different video, and you can add dynamic properties to it. So in this case, the dimensions, the blocks are same, but you can modify them. You can make it dynamic, so it's varying dimensions. So let's, hopefully you enjoy this video, and in the next video, we'll talk about attributes.